guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. Well, you know, many times when guys are younger or guys are into the dating world, they make mistake after mistake after mistake. I was one of them. You know, I chased the wrong women. I valued the wrong things about myself, and I would repeat it over and over again because I didn't learn. The good news is at the time when I was going through most of this chaos, I didn't lose any of my assets to them because I didn't marry them and they didn't live with me, or we didn't live together at least long enough where they could take my assets from me. And I didn't really have that much to offer as far as assets. I mean, I was still a young guy trying to find my way in the world, so the most they could have taken from me is, I don't know, a plastic utensil sorter and maybe a couple of mugs out of my cupboard. Like I just didn't have anything to offer. But when you start increasing your value, when you start getting ahead in life, that's oftentimes where you need to be real careful with whoever you're dating and what's going on and how serious you get with them. Because all you have to do is ask many of the millionaires or in Jeff Bezos's case, billionaires. And when things end with those gentlemen, they lose cash and prizes. Like they lose a lot of money. Well, I wanted to talk about this video because I think Kanye West is going to learn another hard lesson in love. Now, Kanye, as you know, he and Bubble Butt, what's her name there? Kim. He and Kim went their separate ways, and she said some pretty derogatory things about him, that he was kind of mentally unwell, and maybe he needed some help, and he was kind of struggling in a few things in life. And he really didn't take any time alone to address that, which is on him, let's be honest. I mean, if you're not in a good headspace, you're not going to be able to find a relationship that is going to be in a headspace. And what does he do? Rather than spending a little bit of time alone, maybe instead of working on himself while he goes out and enjoys being single and playing the old in and out, no, he's going to get right into another relationship. And it's going to be with a toxic woman. And while she may not seem that way right now, I think you guys will see after I talk about this that she is, and he didn't learn his lesson. And why is this a good video for you guys to watch? I'll tell you. Because it's going to show you that you have to make the right decisions as a guy, period. You have to think with a big head, stop thinking with a little head when it comes to aspects of dating today. Because if you don't, there are very poisonous women that will take advantage of you. They will ruin your life. They will cheat on you. They will lie to you. And they will, if you fall in love or you end up getting your emotions involved and she does this to you, you're going to have a bad time. And we all know Kanye's kind of not in a good place. And so he's going to be my poster child for this going forward. So if you look here, this is from Evie.com. 7 things to know about Julia Fox, Kanye West's new girlfriend. This is from just a couple of days ago. And you see here again, she's a pretty woman, which, I mean, that's fine. But it shows you he's not looking at what type of person she is. And I'm going to show that to you. And again, this is more validation about what happens to men. I'm doing this in the beginning because so many times it's easy to say, oh, at the end of a relationship, when things fall apart, it's easy for everybody to come in and start picking it apart and saying, oh, well, yeah, now you're going to talk about this, but we need to know when things are going to go bad before we even get started. This is a relationship that is that. And it might be 6 months, it might be a year, it might be 2 years, it might be 6 years. I can tell you this relationship is going to fall apart. And Kanye, depending on how deep he gets into this, he may end up getting emotionally damaged, but he certainly, if he goes too far into it, is going to get financially damaged. And that's the thing. I'm kind of telling you some red flags ahead of time. So you guys, whenever you see a news story pop up about this, you can be like, okay, now I'm seeing how this all fits together. So they say rapper Kanye West seems to have found his beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy in a new girlfriend, Julia Fox. Model turned actress, Fox is seeing her popularity explode after being spotted out and about with West, with many people becoming intrigued by her bombshell looks and tell it like it is attitude. Okay, that's warning number 1, the tell it like it is attitude. Okay, that means that she's going to be very quick to speak out against him or not stick by his back because she's going to tell it like the way she sees it, maybe not the truth. The other thing is, with her popularity and everything exploding being with him, that means he's got more value. That's why she's choosing him, because he's got more value or on the market, at least, than she does. So they say Fox and West apparently met on New Year's Eve in Miami, but they've already had several well-documented date nights. Rather than play coy about whether they're an item, Fox wrote a gushing review of their extravagant second date with Interview magazine, complete with a New York City photo shoot. So again, she wrote a gushing review of their date. Why? Validation. She's looking for attention by riding his coattails. After dinner, Ye had a surprise for me. I'm still in shock, Julia wrote in Interview. Ye had an entire hotel suite full of clothes. It was every girl's dream come true. It felt like a real Cinderella moment. And I don't know how he did it or how he got all of it in there on time, but I was so surprised. Like, who does things like this on a second date or any date? Everything with us has been so organic. I don't know where things are headed, but if this is any indication of the future, I'm loving the ride. Again, he uses his money, he uses his influence to get her what? Gifts. And she says, this is organic. This is not organic at all. He's literally slathering her with gifts and attention. And now she's saying, I'm loving the ride. That's the key word right there. I'm loving the ride. It's just a ride. It's a fun ride for now, but it's just a ride. And what happens when all the loop-de-loops and everything that's fun and crazy start settling down and start kind of chilling out a little bit? Guess what? The ride is over, and she will leave him. They say this relationship with Fox is West's most public since he split from Kim Kardashian last year. Post-split, West was linked to the model Irina Shayk, but he kept low profile and even appeared to ask his ex-wife to run right back to me during a concert in December. Again, he's not over the past. He jumped in with somebody else. That didn't work. Jumping onto somebody else. This is a guy that's not comfortable being alone, which means he's going to be needy and kind of weird. She's not going to like it, no matter how much praise is lavished on her. Like West, Fox wearing many hats as a creative, having worked in fashion, modeling, film, photography, and art. Keep reading to learn more about Julia Fox. Okay, fashion, well, that's because of her beauty. Modeling, it's because of her beauty. Film, it's because of her beauty. Photography, because of her beauty. And art, I don't know, maybe she knows some art. But nowadays, you could just take a crap on a piece of carpet and laminate it and put it in a museum, and that's considered art. So who knows? She's an actress who had her first film role at age 29. She's not afraid to call out deadbeat dads. Now, this is the key paragraph right here, and I'll explain more why in just a moment. But this is the key, and this is why it's dangerous for him. She's not afraid to call out deadbeat dads. Fox made headlines in 2021 for calling out her ex-husband and father of her son for being a deadbeat dad. Fox married pilot Peter Artemyev in 2018, and they welcomed son Valentino in January of 2021. However, the two have since split. Tensions flared during the holidays when Fox called Artemyev a deadbeat alcoholic drug addict dad on her Instagram stories and begged him to be a better father, Page 6 reported. She said in caps, "Take care of your kids, men, and other men. Hold deadbeat dads accountable. It's damn near 2022. How can you say you care about women and mothers and single mothers, and you're out here enabling the behavior," she wrote on social media. Now, let's boil this down. They just had the kid in January of 2021. So the kid is less than 1 year old. Now it's 1 year old. But they've been seen together for, I think, a month. So he started dating single mom whose kid wasn't even a year old. And she went out and attacked this guy, saying deadbeat dad on social media, right? And then she tells all men need to correct your behaviors. Now, what's it say right down here? Fox has since apologized for the rant on her podcast, saying she didn't paint the full picture and praising Artemyev for being a supportive throughout her pregnancy. She said something changed when Valentino was born. Peter just did not really step up to the plate in the way I wanted. We are going to work on a weekly schedule. Things are looking up. Now, we'll get back to this in just a minute, but this is the important part of the story. She went on social media, claimed he was a deadbeat dad that drank too much, used illicit substances, and that he needed to step up, and all men needed to step up. She was born in Milan, Italy. She once did a Barbie-themed photo shoot with Pete Davidson. I wonder if Pete Davidson gave her the in and out. I mean, you know, he's been known to be a boy toy for ladies for some reason. She made an art exhibit featuring her own blood. There you go. So she didn't crap on a carpet and laminate it. She just used she extracted it with a syringe and used it to paint on silk. Okay. She sounds mentally stable, doesn't she? Motherhood changed her. Of course it did. There are no labels yet on her relationship with Kanye. Well, let's jump over to this story from Fox News. Kanye West's girl, and this is from 3 days ago, Kanye West's girlfriend, Julia Fox, apologizes for calling her ex a deadbeat dad and alcoholic. And here's the retraction. Now, remember, she did this on social media for validation and likes and attention, and she kind of got called out on it by people that I guess know him. And she says, all I want to say is I'm sorry. She said alongside her co-host, Nikki Takesh, you're not a deadbeat. I know that you're not. And I know that it wasn't you. Let me try that again. I know that you're not. And I know that it wasn't that you weren't trying to see the son Valentino. It's that you weren't trying to see me. So this guy wasn't a deadbeat, and he was trying to see his son. It's just that he didn't want to see her. Why did he not want to see her? Probably because she's toxic and crazy. I mean, I don't know too many artists out there that paint paintings with their own blood, but Fox admitted that some of the rumors she overheard about her ex fueled her holiday gripes after not seeing Artemiev for more than a month. Everyone had the bug, she explained. I had no help whatsoever, and my friend was out and saw Peter out, and Peter was saying something along the lines of that, well, I'll just say it, that bitch won't let me see my son. And when that was relayed to me, my blood boiled. I just snapped. So the truth is, he was saying that she wouldn't let him see his son, and when she heard that he called her the B word, and was blaming it on her, she decided to basically slander him and say things that were false about him to get even with him. Does this sound like this is going to, and again, Kanye's only been with her, a couple of weeks, maybe a month? Does this sound like a person you want to get involved with? Now most of you guys would say, well, hell no. She sounds loopy. And obviously she's not going to be telling the truth already before she even got involved with Kanye. Although Fox said she tried to get in touch with him several times before her social media tirade, she admitted that she went overboard. She also highlighted the fact that her ex doesn't really want to have a public life in the way she does, which has likely contributed to his distance. She said, he's just so not about this life, she continued. He doesn't give an F about it. He's like the most chillest, down-to-earth, authentic guy. So again, her ex is a down-to-earth, chill, authentic guy, and he doesn't want to be in the limelight. But she does, because she says it's not about this life. He doesn't want to be part of this life that I want. So Kanye gives her that brash, outgoing, loud, popular life. That's what she wants. She doesn't want Kanye. She wants Kanye's gifts. And now, again, I'm guessing at this. Time will tell. But she's admitting, I like the fancy lifestyle. I like the glamour and the lights and being popular. Kanye gives that to her. He's also incredibly rich. He gives that to her as well. She's excited that he filled her room with clothing, and somehow that's organic. She lies about people that are in her life just if they say something that she doesn't care for. And granted, remember that, yeah, he did call her a beach because she wouldn't let him see his son. But remember, he didn't say this to a newspaper. He didn't say this on social media. He didn't say this to the public. He was saying it to his friend. And somebody that knew him and her overheard it. That's a big difference. So I have a big feeling that this is going to be very poisoning for Kanye, and Kanye is not in a good headspace as it is. Neither is she. He said, I was saddened to learn of the utterly false statements made on social media by Julia Fox, my co-parent, who is clearly struggling. Out of respect for her privacy and and to protect our child, I will not comment further, he told the outlet. Good on him. And they go down a little bit more into it, but that's not necessary. You guys see what I'm talking about, though, right? And the reason why I use Kanye as an example here is because we're going to get all the juicy insider on this relationship. You don't get the same juicy tidbits on Bob and Nancy that live four houses down from you. You don't know what happens. But everything in public life for these two is going to be tracked. It's going to be known. So we'll get updates. But I wanted to talk about this because a lot of times, number one, men are going from women to women to women, woman to woman to woman, or if they're really lucky, women to women to women, woman to woman to woman, and they're not in a good headspace. They're doing it for the wrong reasons. Now, some may say, hey, going out and just shagging woman after woman, if you can, is not a bad reason. Okay, but he went from relationship to relationship to relationship. It didn't work, and now this is his third one. It's not going to work. And you can see what type of woman she is. It's the glam, it's the glitz, it's the popularity, it's cash and prizes. He's not well. She's not well. And you put those two things together, it's not going to turn out very well. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because for you guys out there that maybe feel like I'm not in a relationship, I can't get a woman, I'm depressed, I'm upset, I'm angry at women or whatever. If you're in an emotional turmoil, you're not going to find somebody that you can care about. I mean, you might, but it's not going to be a healthy relationship because a healthy person wouldn't want to date you if you're in a bad place. The same thing goes with this Fox woman. It's Julia Fox. Is that? I read her name like 15 times. Yeah, Julia Fox. She's not in a good place. Well, she wouldn't want to date somebody no matter how popular they were or how much money they had if she were in a good place. So neither one's in a good place. Neither one's they're doing it for the wrong reasons. Like he's giving her the glam and the glitz and the money and all this. She's giving him hot, I guess, and maybe some crazy art. But neither one of these are in a good place. So watch as this unfolds. I think this one will unfold quick. But again, it's just another example of how women today will be with a guy, even if he's not stable or not a good man. I'm not saying Kanye's a bad man, but I'm saying he's like not in a good place in life because it seems like he's codependent if he's going from relationship to relationship. And she's kind of the same way. And a lot of people are like this today, where one relationship will end, and instead of taking time to say, hey, am I in a good headspace here? Like, have I gotten readjusted to where I'm okay on my own or that I'm happy on my own and that I'm living my best life and I just want somebody else that's in the same space so we can be together? No, what people do today is they end one thing and they jump right into something else, or many times they jump into something else while they still have the current relationship going, and then they decide that's the back burner guy. They pull a guy from the back burner, put him on the front of the stove, and then the guy that they're tired of, they dump him, and they've got a new front burner. Guys are doing this too. That's why it's so important to find out about previous relationships and look for red flags. And a big red flag is, when was the last time you were single for an extended period of time? Can somebody say, I was single for a year, 2 years, 3 years before deciding to get back into the dating world because of the last relationship I was with was negative? People aren't doing that anymore. And I think a good example of this is going to be the fallout when this falls apart for Kanye. Now, in a year and a half from now, you might say, oh, he just married her, Joker. See, things are going along fine. You wait. Mark my words. Probably before I'm done being a YouTuber or before I quit this dance, I guarantee you, more than likely before the end of the year, that thing's going to fall apart. All right, let's do a dating profile of the day. All right, this next one, I didn't have to remove her name because there's no face. There's just some legs and a name, Natalina. And she's a CEO. More than likely, I think she's a CEO of her own company because I don't know of too many attractive, true CEOs that would need to be on Tinder. She's into spirituality, warning sign number 1. She's into fashion, warning sign number 2. Working out, yoga, and travel. All right, let's break this down. Spirituality, usually a little bit of weirdo. Fashion, working out, yoga. That's so she stays slim and attractive and healthy. And travel. Just saying. I would like to meet a mature man who have done enough growing up to realize that life is not about the appearance. Oh, maybe she's not so pretty anymore? I don't know. A grown man who looks beneath the surface seeking out those qualities give a woman that hard time to define, but all important, searching for a relationship, passion, desires, emotional and spiritual connection to build a life of value, trust, enjoyment of the finest things, but rooted to the nature. Now, if that sounded a little stilted and odd to you, I read that exactly like it is. So, she's probably not a native English speaker, but she speaks a second language better than I do, so I'm not going to make too much fun of her. She says only contact if you have a luxury lifestyle, travel the globe, 5-star accommodations. And that's it. And that's it. And what you're going to find is even on the quote, sane dating, let me turn off that music there. Even on the quote, sane dating profiles. Tell me, guys, what kind of person is Natalina? Now, you may say, well, she's after the money. Yeah, I would agree with you with all the keywords in here. But who is she as a person? She would like to meet a man who's grown up, who's looking beneath the surface, looking for a relationship. He's passionate. He's desires. He's emotional and spiritual connection to build a life of value, trust, enjoyment of the finest things, but rooted to the nature. Only contact if you have luxury. I do not know. I don't know what she does. I don't know what she's passionate about. I don't know what she cares about. I don't know what she likes other than money and the 5-star lifestyle. This is the thing that again, and I'm doing this, that's why I do these dating profiles, because it's not me reading a story. These are real people, average, everyday real people, putting their desires on paper. And what she's telling you is, I want a guy who's mature and grown up and who looks beneath the surface, so he's looking past her looks maybe, and he wants a luxury lifestyle, travel around the globe, 5-star accommodations. And remember, she says only contact if you have a luxury lifestyle, travel the globe, 5-star accommodations. She doesn't say contact me if you're interested in that and I will provide it. No, she's looking for a bailout. Now, I do this dating profile because of Kanye and this Julia Fox person. It sounds like she wants his glam and glitz, and that's why she jumps on here. But they don't tell you who they are. Why? Because it's them, it is they doing the selection. Women feel like, well, I get to choose. So I'm going to put out a grocery list, and then I will sort through my suitors, men that want me, and I will make the choice of who I get to date. This is the problem with women today, is if guys will stand in a line, if guys will jump on these dating apps and they say, I will allow you to judge me, and if you find me worthy, I would like to take you out. When you do that, I guarantee you one of two things. Number one, she won't find you worthy. And number two, because if you're willing to stand in line and be judged, to be found worthy or not, you're beneath her. She is on the pedestal and you are groveling on the ground. You're beneath her. A quality man does not do that. A quality man knows that he is the one that at least they'll be choosing each other. She will have to show her value to him, and he will show his value to her. Now, a guy that's extremely good looking and extremely successful and extremely valuable and all the other extremes, he can be the chooser. But remember, men bring a lot more to the table other than looks, other than just money. Men bring a lot of different things to the table. Women today are somehow feeling that, well, my looks are enough to let me choose which guy I get. And she keeps choosing loser after loser after loser because, again, the real winners are not on Tinder standing in a line to be judged. Guys, if you'd like to support my work, links are below as always. If you have, thank you very much. And the best way you can support me is like, comment, share, subscribe. Check me out over on betterbachelor.locals.com, where I've got about 50,000 other members that are enjoying the website over there. And if you become a supporter today for $5 a month, you can join me on the forums. You can private message me, and you can actually interact with all of the special features that we have over on the forums, as well as getting unique movie nights, live streams, and, of course, videos that are one-off for supporters only. So join me over on betterbachelor.locals.com.